You are listening to the World Sports Show on WPPM LP Philadelphia. Soccer-based sports talk covering local, nation, and global soccer. Broadcasting from the Philly Cam studio in Center City, Philadelphia on 106.5 FM.
Welcome to World Sports Show. Charlie Flowe here. It is March the 5th, 2018. Cool evening in Philadelphia. Definitely still winter, but we are all warm and toasty here in the studio. It felt like Christmas weekend with MLS kicking off, and also last week the She Believes Cup started up, so very exciting time in the world of soccer. So how are you guys doing tonight?
Oh, it's great, man. Union got their first win. It's awesome.
Yeah, we'll definitely
Riding high there.
Dig into that, and John's doing all the technical work and setting up. He's the one wearing many hats tonight.
That's right, baby.
Yeah.
Many hats, a lot to talk about.
Yes, a lot to talk about. So, our trending news, MLS kicked off the 2018 season this past weekend with 6 games on Saturday, 4 games on Sunday. The Union opened up their season with a 2-0 win over New England Revolution. Goals from Anthony Fontana and CJ Sapong. LAFC won their first ever game on the road at Seattle with a 1-0 headline. U.S. women's national team drew 1-1 with France in their second game of the She Believes Cup, following with Germany playing England to a 2-2 draw, and there was appearance from David Beckham there. Saudi Arabia announced today that they will allow women to sporting stadiums next year. That'll be 2019. Also, over the past week in Iran, 35 women were arrested for trying to attend a football match, which the FIFA president was at. So a lot to talk about on the show, a lot to crunch and get down to business. And Union, that is the big headlining news in the city of Philadelphia.
Yeah, it was good when you did that little rundown in the teletype department.
Yeah.
The background here.
Yeah. You see, the news came in over the line from 1930. Off the wire, they used to say, right? The old wire.
Hot off the press, man.
Yeah, I got a telegram. Breaking news. Titanic sinks.
You only have one voice, man. You can't do it 3 times.
My bad. Is that like a couple yellow cards there?
Get one, yep.
Yeah, there's your yellow card.
I don't remember which game I was watching over the weekend, one of the MLS games. Somebody got a yellow card, and the ref came up and put 4 fingers in the player's face saying, "This is your 4th warning, so I have to give you a yellow card." I forget which game I was watching. I'll have to look back on it.
That's been something that the MLS, the
referee,
pro, you know. And one thing as well is the same player being fouled multiple times by different players is now being looked at very
targeting, as they called it back in the day.
Targeting. Yeah.
Well, you're a tackle football guy, Kevin. That's a very big term in American football where you start targeting a certain player.
Yep.
It is what it is.
I was affected by that before it was a thing. Playing college football in 2012 wasn't really big.
Yeah.
I got a flag thrown on me first game of my senior year. The ref said I lined up a kid and hit him as hard as I could. And I said, I thought this is football.
That's my job.
I didn't know I wasn't allowed to hit someone.
And that's true. That's tackle football, but it is true when you start seeing most fouled guy, when you look at like the statistics, John, we've seen those released, like this guy gets fouled an average of 3 to 4 times per game. You start realizing that, yeah, you kind of go after their best player. So it's good. The referees are cracking down, and just the Union game itself featured quite a few cards. It featured a straight red and a double yellow that resulted in a red. So Union definitely took advantage of the situation. Winning 2-0, getting a goal right before the half is very big. Getting a goal for Anthony Fontana, in the 43rd minute, and that's a big thing that I went to the Union philosophy thing they had on Wednesday down at the stadium, and Jim talked about the first 5 minutes, the last 5 minutes of half. And I'm sitting on the sideline photographing, thinking in my mind, if they don't get a goal before half and they're up a man, then that's a big motivation for New England going into the locker room. Say, hey, we're down a man. We get our 15 minutes of rest, and we can reevaluate the situation and try to get out of here with a 0-0. But getting that goal before the half, 2 minutes to spare, that changed the whole complex of the game.
Sure, and I think that's the real only way that New England team could come in and actually steal points. Because, I'm looking at it this way. New coach, like we talked about last week.
Yeah.
Still lacking their playmaker in the middle in Lee Wen. And basically, they were flat just like we called it coming in. And getting that goal towards the end of the half, it's always that last 5 minutes of a half or first 5 minutes of the second half.
That let down under that pressure you create.
It's the dagger, that's right. And then, they came up short, and the Union capitalized on it, and that was pretty big.
Yeah, and you look at a half even before the red card that, Sapong had many opportunities, several of the players had opportunities, and you can look at a way that you dominated first half, but somehow dominating your first half in soccer can kind of actually kill the momentum at halftime. The team can use that as a motivation. Hey, we just dodged a ton of bullets here. We're on the road. Still 0-0. We know what we got to do to keep it 0-0, but maybe we'll sneak a point in there. And we've seen that happen so many times in MLS. A team just on the road sneaks one in late.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think that, foot on the pedal, especially at home, it's tough to really, I know it's the first game of the season. It's a long marathon. I get it.
Yeah.
But to give up points at home, give up those two for a draw, that'll pay dividends, and it might be that playoff line at the end of the season. Come back to that game where, hey, you're up a man, you're up 2 men.
Yeah,
got to finish the game. But goals by Fontana and Sapong in the game were enough for a 2-0 victory. And I must say, it was a little bit windy and cold. It was a night that followed the first night in early March, which is a little bit tough to swallow for a season ticket holder. But it was a day after a nor'easter came through the Mid-Atlantic region, and the wind was still whipping down there.
Oh, yeah.
Especially since that stadium is, 100 yards max right off of the river, and it's just a cold wind coming in. But it didn't really seem to affect the players. For the first game, they looked pretty sharp, like, both sides. But, it definitely had an effect on the fans. Hands in the pockets. It's tough not to. That's just...
the one thing that's helping the Union now that they have their training complex right there on the Delaware River, because you have so many different teams in American sports don't exactly practice near where they play, but you really are getting replicated situations every day at training. So these players know the atmosphere, and even on Friday, Jim was saying that the team practice inside the stadium, and sometimes you need that. You got new faces and youth players. Sometimes they just need to have that feel of in the stadium.
Let's face it, their practice pitch outside the stadium doesn't have any barriers, and you're getting a direct wind ripping right off the water.
Exactly.
But inside they can get, I guess you got to adjust to the crosswinds and, whatever it may be, the lights. Because it was a night game. It wasn't a day game. So 7 p.m. in Chester, it's that the wind, you can feel it swirling. It's just not one direction anytime. So that's big, and you can tell on goal kicks, long throws. Couple not miscues, but a couple balls that could have been played a little better, and that's a direct result of that wind swirl in there.
And I think that a situation like this with the weather, when you look at the two talents, you look at the two lineups, Union versus New England Revolution, the weather was at the advantage of the Union. Union have more technical players that can play on their feet. Look at a Cam, the new player signing, on how good he's on the ball on the foot. Madugin, he's known for having the ball on his foot. You get players that are good with the ball on their foot, and a team that doesn't rely on a long ball and over the top type of offense. This was a huge advantage to the Union. Now, when you're on a road team, you want those even playing fields. So you're in a desperation situation down, and man, you're going to be playing a lot of balls out of the box. You're going to play a lot of balls out of desperation. But this was the ideal situation where New England couldn't just play a long ball desperation type of hold it down for the 0-0. So worked out an advantage of the Union. It helped them out, and just looking at the lineup, we didn't know what the lineup was going to look like. We kind of had an idea through their preseason, but until that lineup comes out, that's the biggest thing everybody's asking about. What's the 11 going to be?
Yeah, interesting. News coming into the game. This is over the weekend that Fafa Picault was suspended 3 games for, quote, offensive language in a closed-door scrimmage game.
Yeah, both
Orlando.
players were suspended, and Jim couldn't even break it down because he's not allowed to. He's not allowed to, and that's the thing, is he's handcuffed.
Yeah, that's right. But it's interesting, the league.
Day before, it's weird that we find out, day and a half before the opener, 3 games for a game that happened weeks ago. And it was, to me, it happens all the time in practices, scrimmages, where we don't know what was said, so I can't really elaborate on it, get deep into it. But things are said in practice and scrimmage all the time,
Yeah.
But we don't know what was said.
It's sports. Things get heated.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, they get heated, but we don't know what was said. But there's,
had to be pretty bad.
It had to be bad enough where they had an actual referee that witnessed it, and it was so bad that they had to file, some type of something. It wasn't like where we have scrimmages in my college team, the A team versus the B team, there's no referees, just the coaching staff, where if something gets heated, you go sit the boys down for a while, let them cool off. But if it was a closed-door scrimmage, there's going to be official refs that they're going to hire for the day, and it's just kind of they see something happen, they have to report it.
And then, just to think about this, what did Luis Suarez get suspended for biting another player? What was that suspension? Was it 1 game?
Something like it's weird.
I don't know exactly what it was, but
somebody really had broken down a really good tweet about it, and I get whatever was said is zero tolerance type thing, and if it was something that was really offline or off topic, you got to get suspension. But it is weird how you'll see players with 2-footed tackle get a red and might get 1 more suspension. So you're talking guys that go make career-ending or ACL tearing type tackles on somebody might only get 2 games.
That's right. They might not even get nothing. So
it's a weird debate. What's worse? Some guys saying something really harsh and offensive, or a guy maliciously trying to destroy somebody that may ruin their career.
I mean, it's not that I'm against a suspension.
Oh no,
it's just is it. Basically, it goes to a players' union, and they have to mutually agree on the fine pyramid in the suspension pyramid before the season. So are they setting the precedent from here on out where disciplinary, if it's a racist chant or talk, absolutely should be fine.
Yeah, exactly.
You should be kicked out. If they never played again, I'd be happy with that. But if they can't tell you what was said and they're giving a 3-game is like an odd suspension for verbal.
It was offensive, but not too bad.
Yeah. So. For 3 games, and it wasn't even a preseason game. It was a closed door.
That's the
scrimmage.
It's a closed door scrimmage, and then of course everything's going to get picked up on a microphone. But it would anyway. But
who knows?
3 games, it's just odd. It's like
Yeah, that's a very big deal.
So, not that it really needs to come out what was said, but just to give us a clue what it was. So from here on out,
we're in a unique situation. We've never had to talk about this on the show before because it's never really happened.
But hey, it's done, and they're going to do their time.
Yep,
the crime, do the time, and
exactly.
I just checked. Suarez was 7 games for the bite.
7
for the bite.
games for a bite.
So
7 for the.
So
a bite equals 7
was
games.
Was that the first time or the?
The third.
The third time.
Third time bite is 7.
So the first one couldn't have been 7. So biting a player.
So they must have said something pretty bad if they got 3 games.
Yeah. But back and forth.
Exactly. It really kind of did it become like a he said, she said, and back and forth, and
you got to watch what you say on the field too. You'll get when Zidane headbutted that guy for
racist chants. He said some things about his mother and family, and that's the thing that they're really trying to crack down on. And hey, that's good because we've.
You want a clean game.
Exactly, dude.
You can't be out there biting people and headbutting people.
Really. I look at it. I talked friendly trash, It's like, the kind of trash that I said probably would still get a little bit of trouble. I would talk about how ugly my player's girlfriend is that I'm playing against. Like, dude, your girlfriend's ugly, just to get in their head, but like nothing racist, nothing like his culture or something like that. Or just say, dude, you suck. Just tell a player you suck.
Yeah, I mean, playing football in Norway, they don't trash talk at all. Yeah. So there was a whole other world when I just even said, I was like, this is very mild-mannered, but they were like very upset. Like they were mad. I was like, that's nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
You should hear what I've said back home.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. Is I've played some street ball basketball growing up as a kid in Newport News, and the things that were said on the court.
Basketball court,
exactly,
that's a whole
and then it is that grain of salt. I have no tolerance for certain things said, but sorry, your feelings were hurt on the field because somebody talked a little trash to you, and some of it's blown out of proportion.
It's a mental game. You got to get that mental edge. If you get someone out of the game mentally, huge advantage right there.
Yeah. So, who knows with soccer? I don't know. And I don't want us to get the reputation that we're a soft sport, but you have to have a fine line. But very, very good game for the Union. Like I said, they capitalized and got the second goal in the 69th minute from C.J. Sapong. Corey Burke came in as a sub, the former Bethlehem Steel player, and a great night where you have academy players and Bethlehem Steel guys contributing from the first minute of the game, John.
That's all right. Pretty interesting.
Yeah.
And, getting them young guys in there and just checking out Fontana, who we're looking at maybe 2-3 years. That might be your number 10 for the future right there. Game.
Sitting right behind C.J. Sapong. I mean, what a pivotal position.
First game getting some action.
Yeah, so let's go through some of the lineup last Saturday. We had at the right back position, we had Rosenberry, and in the left back position, we had Fabinho, and then we had Trusty starting at center back and Elliott. So it was good to see another youth player and Trusty starting in the back line. All was well in goal with Andre Blake, and then starting in the middle, next to Madunjan Harris was Bedoya, and then starting on the right wing was Herbers, and then Akam was starting on the left. And then we talked about Fontana being in the middle and C.J. Sapong being straight up top, target forward. So really, really good night for C.J. Sapong. Really could have had about 4 to 5 goals, but I did speak to C.J. Sapong after the match, and I spoke to Derrick Jones about their key roles on Saturday night.
So let's hear what Derrick Jones had to say.
Flowe World Sports Show. What does a win, first game of the season, and a goal do for your confidence?
Definitely heightens it. I could have had more goals today, but personally looking, I try to look at the positives, and it was good to get in scoring positions. So many times in the game, I felt like I was always around the ball with an opportunity. So that's something that's actually pretty new for me, and I'm gonna carry that and hope that I keep finding myself in the right spots and I keep scoring goals.
Well, thank you for your time.
Thank you, bro.
So that was C.J. Sapong. Good interview by Charlie Flowe down at the game. And also, that was one interesting thing that I just want to pick out what he said is not just scoring goals, it's finding the spots. So one thing that's one of the things that they're preaching as in get there and as a team, find the ball.
Yeah.
So
Corey Burke did a great job on the line, found his man, and all he had to do is punch it in.
That's it. And we also spoke with Derrick Jones, and this is what he had to say.
It's Flowe World Sports Show here with Derrick Jones. Quite a special birthday for you. You get some play time, you get the win. How big is this to get the win to start the season?
Yeah, we all came out just to get 3 points, and the team did it. We all came together, and we're very happy that we started with a win, and we're going to keep going to the season done, try to make the playoffs, and just keep going forward.
Guys added a lot of big pieces in the offseason. How excited is this locker room with a lot of key pieces that could make that playoff run?
Hey, we trust each other. It doesn't matter if we just came, we all won, and we're here just to help each other, each and every day, off and on the field.
Well, thank you for your time, Derrick, and happy birthday to you.
All right, thank you.
It's Flowe.
So it seems as the common thing with the players and the interviews and the sound bites that we got, it's basically the teams are relying on each other, which is a little bit different than the first games that from sound audio that we've brought in the past opening games, where they seem very comfortable with each other, especially up top in the offensive posture of the field.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it was got a lot of talent up top, and what I really liked about Derrick Jones coming in as their sub is he comes on for a cam, but Derrick Jones has dropped back more of a holding midfielder role, and I think that's where he's the most comfortable. We've seen him push up and score some goals, but good call there. C.J. Sapong stayed on for the whole game, but something else that was very good that Jim Curtin addressed in the press conference and everybody that watched the game noticed that they pulled off Herbers and put in Burke, and they pulled off Fontana and put in Simpson. So I like the aggressive play call. You're up a man. So many teams, it's almost a curse to be down a man because we've seen so many teams, even the Union's past, like the old Hackworth days where Union would be up a man and just could not get a goal. They've lost games when they're up a man, down a man type thing. Or their team's up or down a man, excuse me. Dude, what's the best thing to do? Put your foot on the pedal and keep putting in offense and fresh legs, make them stretch the field.
Yeah, but my opinion in that situation with the sub for Simpson coming on.
Yeah,
I think that Meduginen was doing his thing, collecting a lot of ball from the back, pressing up. But I think that just having the one area where I think that they would look like that they needed a little bit reassuring is that center holding midfielder back with Meduginen, and then they went ahead and put Simpson in, who's, I don't want to say a defensive liability, but I just might say it, that I think that he's
I see your point of view
guy.
too. Yeah,
he's a scorer.
Yeah,
but at that time, after subbing for a wing, getting a fresh wing in there with Burke, the Simpson calls could have went. I love putting the foot on the pedal. Up.
I like the
2-0.
Burke. Really like the Burke call. I think that was the best sub. I mean, he ended up getting the assist. And producing. I mean, he came in with a ton of energy.
And to be honest, looking at, if we're comparing both sides, the left side with a Cam, Meduginen, Fabinho on the left, we're just going to, if we're comparing the left side to the right side with being your wild card, Sapong up top, I think the left side with a Cam was, a Cam, Fabinho, way more effective.
I dominated that side. It was happened to be the side I was photographing on, so I got treated in that first half of just – watch him make all those runs and just takes up time.
The interesting thing, the play, I think one of the turning points in the game, which led to the red card, was actually a long ball deep from Jack Elliott to Sapong, who, perfect timing. I think that this is something that they were looking at. This is something that had to be a game film type study to find that center back kind of not really paying attention too much. And he put that ball right over, ran on, got fouled from behind, obvious scoring opportunity, got the red card, and that was the game right there.
So one thing I've enjoyed over the years is, well, not over the years, it's been a lot of years, but, Jack Elliott is new, to this whole system and newer to the Union, very young player out of West Virginia via England, is having center backs look up and changing the way professional footballers and center backs are. Look, case in example, Jim Curtin was a center back, and he even talks about it, and even this past week in press conference, of being kind of that low-skilled big body, and looking for a quick slotted pass. When you look at Jack Elliott, he doesn't appear to be a center back as in, his width. He's got the height of a center back.
That's right.
But he's looking to play those balls, not just play him to a quick outlet to his right back, left back, or other center back, but his head's always up looking to make that long ball play. If it's there and you got a big target like CJ Sapong, you take advantage of that.
Yeah.
And you can just basically skip a whole third of the field.
I mean, and to be honest, I thought they could have used a little bit more service to a Cam. I mean, he was very effective. First game.
Holding the ball, dude.
He was just looking from, horizontally at the game.
Yeah.
Or, he was making the runs and he was looking for it. It's something that it might not have been on the score sheet now, but coming up the next couple games that you'll see him benefit a good deal. And also, Austin Trusty coming on. Very good.
Yeah, I mean,
for a young Philly area guy to come on and step in, an amazing tackle, taking a breakaway from Agadello from behind, a clean tackle.
Yeah, right in the box.
Right in the box. I mean, pretty much, let's be honest, if he makes that tackle a second late, he might see the bench for the rest of the season. He made that tackle clean. He might earn himself a couple more games to keep the momentum going.
And that's the thing is, as a coach, you want that player to be confident. And I always preach to my defenders that I want you to be confident to make a tackle in the box and not go in kind of like light-footed because you're so worried about the penalty. And then you have these players that do the reach. They're reaching in, and actually that's what leads to PKs because you're not actually going in hard for the tackle. If you go in for a good tackle and actually commit and get the ball, I got no problem with that. It's that when you get that deer in headlights, when you go to, do I make a tackle or not make a tackle? Most likely it leads to a foul because that hesitation right there. Then you find yourself getting burned. Now you're reaching as the player's already passed you.
That's it.
So,
and especially, one good thing about going down to the Union game is we got to walk around the parking lot a little bit, around the tailgate, get to talk to some fans. And it was good that we started off the season getting some audio from fans.
Yeah, we'll be doing that. We talked to some fans over the weekend. We talked to good friend Brittany and Emily, and we talked to a couple of fans, and we're going to play those interviews throughout the year of us just down there in the parking lot talking to fans. They're the ones that voice should really be heard.
Yeah, let's see if we can give that a cue up real quick.
All right, just state your Flowe World Sports Show. What does a win, the first game of the season, and a goal do for your confidence?
Definitely heightens it.
We're going to have to come back to it. I'm going to cue that up.
That's what happens when you're wearing too many hats.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
put the same one back on.
John, just to let you know, he's been doing the whole show blindfolded.
It's actually pretty impressive.
It is.
I've been impressed.
I mean, he just came from some Zorro dinner. No, just kidding. It's all good.
And the funny is I got one hand on the console.
No, but it's something we do it all the time down there indirectly. We don't even interview fans. We're down there hanging. All three of us have been down there for tailgates.
Just talking to
people.
people.
Why not put a mic in front of them?
You know what? And I'm going to put that other hat on. So let's give it a try here. Let's
go.
Let's see if this button works.
This is Charlie Flowe, World Sports Show. I'm just making my rounds out through lots in the pregame for the Union home opener, just running into fans and asking them the opinion on this season. I'm with the fans Emily and Brittany. Just want to get your perspective on what you expect from the team this year.
I expect them to do great. We got a lot of new players, and I'm excited to see what the season brings.
I'm excited to carry the momentum from last season and bring it into this season and continue working our way through the games and progressing each time.
What do you guys think? Do you going to make the playoffs this year?
Duh.
Yeah, for sure.
So any favorite signings, any favorite players out there that you really cheer harder for than anybody else?
Oh, I scream every time I see Andre Blake. That is my boy. I love him. I love you, Andre.
Andre Blake, I'd have to agree.
Well, that was easy.
Yeah.
So this is Charlie Flowe, World Sports Show out here in the pregame for the Union's home opener. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Thanks.
So the couple of fans that I talked to down there at the stadium, just getting the feel of it's a great thing that we do that's different from Europe. One thing that I think is better than will always top Europe, and when it comes to football, is the pregame. I mean, this was
Europe.
This was
Absolutely.
Talking the world,
this was
baby.
3 hours before kickoff. I got down the stadium about 4:00. You got down there about 4:30, John, and we met up and just had some tasty snacks.
And then one thing you heard on the interview was the wind. Hearing it whipping
dude.
again. It's tough. It's very windy down there all times of the year.
Yeah, so don't look at weather.com before you get down to Talent Energy Stadium. Whatever you see on weather.com, add or subtract about maybe 15 to 20 degrees.
Yeah, that's right.
It does kind of help in the summertime. The breeze is nice. You get those July games at night, 7 o'clock. That is the ideal situation for games down there. I would have loved to have had this game during the day. That's the home opener at night. Ooh, that was a tough one.
Yeah, very good. In the summer, need that breeze. It does get very hot and sticky down there. But the good thing is, we're going to hit the mailbag a little bit later. Mailbag at worldsportshow.com. Keep sending them in. We'll touch them up. But one thing that we do get on the mailbag often is, hey, where are you guys going to be? Where can we come on? But we are floating around the Union games with microphone and ready to talk.
Tweet at us. We'll check our Twitter. Tweet at us. Somewhere you're at World Sports Show.
I'm in
Twitter.
section.
I'm in the parking lot. Like, are you in C or B or A or? I'm that guy wearing that hat, or I got this. The neat part is you have a lot of internationals go down there and tailgate. Hey, like me and John for years have been hanging out with the Colombian contingent or crew and eating all their wonderful food. Hey, come find me. I'm by this flag, or identify yourself. Hey, man, we'll make a contest out of it. We'll start some fun with this. We'll find you.
So at World Sports Show Twitter, Facebook, World Sports Show. And with Charlie and Kevin, I'm John. We're here, WPPM LP, Philadelphia, 106.5. Thank you for everybody listening, driving around. Keep the hands on the wheel. So, yeah, it's we're going to have a lot of a season full of MLS talk. We're going to feature the Union because they are the local team. And I'd say as far as MLS, we do get a lot of feedback from not just Union fans. We do get fans from, it seems like LAFC is the hot ticket right now.
Yeah, I mean, you have the ownership itself and just LA is such a big city, and it's a city that it's hard to get from point A to point B. So I can understand some of the reasons why they have a second team in LA.
Anchorman.
Yeah.
Will Ferrell.
Yeah, exactly. So you got, a lot of like Mia Hamm, Nomar Garcia Parra, and Noma, like from Boston. So yeah, second accent of the day. Gonna get banned. So how about LAFC, led by Bob Bradley as their head coach, goes into Seattle, the runners-up last year, 2 years ago champions, beats them in Seattle by a score of 1-0. That 1-0 looks like 10-0.
It's crazy. And just think that, we're getting these high-power coaches. We're getting these high-power players coming in.
Expansion teams are not like they used to be.
No.
Especially with soccer, it's not like NFL expansion teams. You might look at a 10-year plan to get in the playoffs.
Well, I mean, you even look in recent history at all across sports, even right now in hockey with the Vegas Golden Knights, they're rolling right now.
40 wins and like 18 losses.
Yeah, so it's not like it is anymore. I mean, free agency kind of levels the playing field, and they usually get a great draft pick right off the bat. So it's not like it used to be. I mean,
they used to try to build out the draft. Now it's like they're trying to build a system. Hey, we have this system. We're going to get it's Moneyball. If you look at how many sports have been successful using that Moneyball, look at Atlanta, how they built their team, and now it looks like LAFC is going to be a legit team. So LA Galaxy, watch out. You're not the only show in town. And for the longest time in the Bruce Arena days of the LA Galaxy with Donovan, it was just LA Galaxy, LA Galaxy, LA Galaxy. Hey. Maybe that ship has now sailed, and there's a new club in town that's going to be dominating, the football world in Los Angeles. So, hey, competition should make other teams better.
I think so. I think that's what the MLS really needs too. I mean, I think that'll help all across the board. I mean, I think bringing the popularity into the game is going to be huge.
Yeah, some investor with some money. People willing to spend some money.
Wait till next year.
With Miami?
With the Beckhams.
Oh, I'm already applying for that job. No, didn't say head coach. I'll keep it simple.
Shoot for the stars.
Okay, Beckham.
Aim high.
Yeah,
that's all you can do.
Yeah, I think the three of us should coach Miami's team in MLS next year. I think it's a no-brainer. I wouldn't mind relocating World Sports Show to Miami, South Beach.
Not at all.
On that cue, we're going to take ourselves a little bit of a stretch and a break. You don't go anywhere. You keep your popcorn fresh. You're listening to World Sports Show on WPPM LP. He's John DiCriscio, Kevin Hines, and Charlie Flowe.
But it's gone away.
And welcome back to World Sports Show. Charlie Flowe here with John DiCriscio and Kevin Hines, WPPM LP Philadelphia, phillycam.org/radio/listen. If you're running out of range on your radio and you need to tune in on the internet, have your friend punch it into your phone for you. Or if you're listening over air, thank you for tuning in to 106.5 FM. So definitely going to finish up talking about some of the fans we spoke to. So John's got a little interview queued up, and we'll play that for you from another fan interview down at Town Energy Stadium.
This is Charlie Flowe, World Sports Show. I'm here with Anthony Palumbo, Union fan, getting ready for the season home opener here against New England Revolution. What are your expectations on the 2018 season?
In all honesty, I mean, my expectations aren't too high. Last year, my expectations were honestly through the roof. To say the least, we were disappointed as Union fans. So I'm hoping, we had some key signings over the summer. I'm hoping that, the team can build some camaraderie together over the course of the first couple games, and, we can get on a little bit of a streak.
What interested you the most? Which signing, what player are you really going to be, keeping your eye on?
I like a Cam. I love his speed. He was fun to watch on previous teams. So it was a good signing for the Union.
What do you think, playoffs this year?
I'm thinking we sneak in. I'm really thinking we sneak in. The MLS is getting a lot more exciting. And you know what? This is a team of winners. A city of winners. And I'm thinking the Union are going to adapt to that culture.
I want to thank you for your time, Anthony.
Thank you very much.
And back to World Sports Show. That was our fans that we talked to earlier. That was Anthony Palumbo. I was talking to him down in the parking lot right next to the power training complex. Really, you feel the atmosphere. You guys heard the seagulls and the planes going over.
That's the stadium for you.
Yeah, exactly.
Get everything there.
Yeah, stadium. You get the trains going by on one side. You got the boats going by. You got the planes going overhead, and you got the bridge, the Commodore Barry Bridge there. It's beautiful setup. It's pure America down there, man. So definitely looking forward to a good season. So best of luck to the Union moving forward. We hope to have a lot more fan interviews, player interviews, coaching staff. Trying to get anybody you can think of. Send us the request. Hey, let the Union know who you want to hear on the show. Let them know. This is a great way for them to get their message out there. So we're going to turn the page to women's soccer. A lot of news in the women's soccer world. She Believes Cup is underway. Got underway last week with USA beating Germany, beating a powerhouse of one of the world's best teams, beating them 1-0. And
here, I'm going to play an audio clip from the game.
Yeah. I played the first game in Cleveland. Man, it was snowing and cold. Columbus, my bad.
That's all right.
Close.
Same state.
Same state. Close. But, yeah, Ohio, this time of the year, wow, man, that's cold.
It was interesting that, talking to some fans about, hey, are you, would you go to the tournament? And they're like, well, it was in Philly, it was an early March game. And I'm like, man, it was cold.
Yeah.
It was a freezing game.
And it was up in New York a couple days later.
In New York. So, this is like nor'easter, cold, Alberta Clipper time of the year for us down here in the Philly area. But
we're supposed to be getting 6 inches on Wednesdays.
Yeah.
I'm done with this.
Yeah.
They just upped it to...
Well, I think we need to get on a plane because the She Believes Cup will wrap up with England playing USA, and they're basically the winner of that match will win the cup. You know where that game's in? Orlando. So I think we need
I was just there.
Yeah.
I'll go back. It was
I was just there.
89.
Why'd you come back, Kevin?
it wasn't
yeah, responsibilities, being an adult,
right? So going back to USA opening round, She Believes Cup.
Yep, 1-0 over Germany.
Interesting game. Win definitely a major factor for that day. Seems like the nor'easter that came through Philly was there the day before, and basically you're looking at wind gusts at, I want to say 40 to 50 on the field. It's definitely looked like a recreational U5 game where it's a swarm of kids around a soccer ball. No, it wasn't that bad.
It wasn't.
But honestly, it was one of those games where any set piece is not going to be on target because the wind's too tough. And the game's going to be won on not the best goal, but they had to prepare for it. I mean, Jill Ellis was, at her press conference, was like, hey, this is something that we take account for. And we had to play. Regardless, we got to play, and we need a result opening game.
Yep.
So interesting,
it's even though it does come down to England, USA, it's a very wide open tournament. You look at England's first game against France; they put a 4 spot on France, 4-1,
4-1,
and we put a 1 spot up on Germany. And you look at yesterday's result: USA Germany 1-1, and then Germany England 2-2. So I mean, every single game in this tournament is going to be awesome. I mean, who knows what's going to happen in that final? Last year, that's when England beat USA at Red Bull Arena by a score of 1-0. So
you know what? I totally blew it. I just had such an alley-oop to play.
Yeah,
the Neville brothers right there when you brought up England, and I dropped it for New England coach.
Yeah,
one of the Neville brothers, and I could have played it, and it could have been funny, and I totally blew it.
You didn't blow it, man. People have short-term memory. You can play it next week.
Yeah. So
which Neville Brothers song? Now you got some Neville Brothers, man. Which song?
Any Neville Brothers song would have been good.
All the hats you're wearing.
As soon as we mentioned New England skipper manager, which it's bound to happen.
So Kevin's our stat crack guy. He's the one who got the Suarez suspension. You should Google up while we're doing the show how much flight to Orlando would be for Wednesday if we want to go either Tuesday night, which is tomorrow, or we want to fly out Wednesday.
Oh, morning. Tuesday, Wednesday are nice times to fly.
Yeah, I think so. I think that we should just. I don't have any responsibilities here. I mean, I don't mind losing my jobs.
And I've been looking for a new job all the time. Although hopefully that doesn't get out to too many people.
It's all good. Just target audience. But no, I would love to get down there. And yeah, a little late to get credentials or press passes. But hey, sometimes it's good to just go to these games. That's something me and John do. We do a mix of when we cover the women's game. Sometimes we go as fans. Just sometimes it's nice to just go to a game and people realize covering the game is a lot of work. Sometimes I just love to just go to the game and eat some snacks and enjoy some beverages and just sit back and just take the game in.
Yeah, it's a lot of times where, the balance that we have, we look at it from a couple different perspectives. We look at it from a coach, analyzing a game technically and talking about that here. As a fan, going down, seeing what the tailgate's looking like, seeing what the good food is, and then as a in media, we're up there, we're asking the questions to the players and the coaches. So I think that's one dynamic where people really like about this show.
Well, stay tuned. You brought up food. We did talk about it a few times this year about pre-ranking NWSL clubs' tailgates. So mailbag is wide open. We'll come out in the next couple weeks before the season starts. We'll have our preseason rankings based on photos, your emails, our own research. We'll talk to the players and the coaching staffs from every NWSL team and find out which club has the best tailgate. Now, Utah, that's a wild card because we have to really refer to the Real Salt Lake games based on what they do.
Right. And one thing that we got to provide is a criteria. We got to put a standard out.
Yeah.
Hey, this is what we're going to judge on. And then we're going to have at it. And then we'll give you your pre-rankings for NWSL tailgate. We'll throw a little culture in there. What do you guys got going on? What's under that grill?
Yeah, it really got me thinking. There was something got on the news about some Brooklyn barbecue and had a tiny little plate if you guys get a chance to look it up. And it just made me think of Carolina. So I had to defend my Carolina friends. So my preseason rank, I'm thinking Carolina's going to be definitely in the top 2, top 3 maybe. If I had to look now based on no research yet whatsoever, sadly Kansas City is no longer in NWSL, so that number 1 spot of Kansas City barbecue is kind of so. But we'll see. I would like to see what my friends in Portland do. What do they do?
See your friends down in Houston.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah.
Houston, they can cook some food down there.
Yeah. So when Boston's out, we don't have Boston anymore, unfortunately.
I don't know what Portland's known for.
That's a good question. Food-wise, I mean, I've just never been to Oregon, so I don't know what they're known for food-wise.
The only thing I think about is the donuts.
Yeah, I cannot think of the name of that. I know what you're talking about.
Voodoo, I think it is.
Hey, that works.
But I'm not eating donuts at a tailgate.
Tell you what, though,
if those donuts were at a tailgate, I guarantee you, Kevin, you'd eat them.
I would. Yeah. All right, I need a donut at a
couple
tailgate.
Beverages in. Who brings donuts to a tailgate? Give me 3.
Geniuses.
Exactly.
Smart people.
Exactly. I'm not here for my health.
Yeah. All right, let's get back to it. She Believes Cup. So basically, we're down to Orlando, USA, England, winner take all.
Yep, that'll be Wednesday night at 7 o'clock. So, I mean, came down to the last match last year with USA France, and we saw France put just a hurting on the USA, beat them 3-0. I mean, just came out like gangbusters, and that was at RFK. So at least this game will be in Orlando. We know the weather should be a little bit nicer, and the teams can play real football and not have to worry about the elements, because you've got 4 of the best women's programs in the world going against each other. You don't want any of the factors of the weather determining the outcome of the game. You just want to see them play football.
That's right, and it should be a pretty. It's going to be a very good game. But that 6 subs, do you think the USA pulls all 6 subs?
Depends on situational. Depends on the situation. At the end of the day, it would be great for the USA to win this cup. We've played in a couple friendly tournaments the last couple of years and didn't walk away with anything. We had France winning it last year, and then we had the tournament over the summer that Australia won. I think it's good for morale to win something, but at the end of the day, Jill Ellis is trying all the different systems out, trying players out, because this is one of the off years. We've still got, one more summer for the Women's World Cup. So
yeah, but she's trying it out. But what different is she doing for the She Believes? Maybe 2 or 3 players here and there. McCaskill coming in, out of South Carolina. But really, it looks like the 4-3-3 is pretty much nailed down.
Yeah.
Hoping it changes a little bit, but it seems like there's not really going to be anything different coming up.
No.
I'm assuming.
Yeah.
But, are they going to go for the win, or are they still going to try a couple players out in the final?
I think it's a combination of both. It's one of those things where I think that last 30 minutes you just go for the win. 30
minutes.
Yeah.
So if I'm the coach, I'm making 1 sub, going up 1-0, in the last 10 minutes, I'm making 5 subs.
Yeah.
I'm going to have my players walk off the field, tie their shoes, wave to the fans, and the game wrap it
hoping
up.
that we have the lead, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, exactly. So,
just kidding.
Anybody's game, but I think USA comes out on top by a score of 3-1.
Wow, that's
all right. I'll take it.
They haven't put a lot of goals up in the tournament. 1 goal in each game. I think this is a situation where Jill Ellis is going to be looking offense. We have 1 goal in the first game, 1 goal in the second game, averaging a half goal a game. I think this is a situation where let's put an offensive lineup out there and get goals.
Yeah, I think one of England's center backs is out with injury, got sent back home. So I think that it's going to be tough for the back line. It's basically Bright, Millie Bright, and a sub, whoever's coming on to help her out in central midfield, along with Captain Bronze on the side.
Yeah,
but it's going to be tough for them to really stop the constant pressure 90 minutes. At least 2 goals are going to go in, so I'd like to see a 5-goal game. However, 3-2, 4-1.
France and Germany, very defensive-minded teams, and that's what England's played, and they kind of exploited France on that. But I just don't see the firepower from France and Germany compared to the firepower from the U.S. So I don't think England's going to be able to withstand the firepower. They're good at the 1-2, but I don't think they're going to be able to stand that 1.
They didn't come here to lose.
This is true.
So should be interesting. And this is a good test for the new coach, see what he's got and seeing what the program is going to be looking like moving forward. So this is good not only for Jill Ellis, but we've been talking about this English team for a while. We did a lot of interviews in the past couple of years, so it's all coming out now. Hey, we told you they're going to be good, and now that they're starting to pick it up.
Jodie Taylor, who's seen her career, bounce back, and a lot of other household names and English rosters that find themselves in NWSL. And hey, this is a great warm up tournament, because you get excited about this tournament, and then bang, before you know it, NWSL season starting up.
That's it.
So it's a great transition. There's some other topics in women's soccer that we'll talk about. Just remind everybody, listen to World Sports Show on WPPM LP. Philadelphia on 106.5 FM and on the internet at phillycam.org/radio/listen. Some news that came out of Iran over the weekend that 35 women were detained and arrested in Iran for trying to attend a pro football match there in Iran. And the crazy part was FIFA's president was there on hand, and they actually cut the broadcast off because the broadcast started talking to their Minister of Sport about letting women into the game, and the broadcast stopped. They arrested 35 women, later released from prison, and it's crazy to think that you're a member of FIFA, but you don't even allow women to go to the games.
Yeah, it's and it's awful brave of the media, the reporters, to actually bring this up to the FIFA president.
Those are the kind of reporters that sometimes just go MIA later, and it's crazy and sad world that there's no real freedom of speech over there.
No, and that's that's one thing that people here say, hey, you are actually a part of the media, and it's a voice of what the fans of World Sports Show want to say. And we're trying to be the microphone for that. So it's coming back to our side of the pond. It's
those are some brave journalists over there.
Absolutely.
I mean, talk about paving ways and just the basic rights of a woman wanting to go to a football match, cheer for her country or cheer for her pro club team. That we have two teams from Tehran that are playing for each other. You just want to cheer for your local club, but you can't even. What if your uncle's on the team or your brother, your cousin? Yeah,
just get into the building.
Yeah,
just
exactly.
Get a ticket.
Yeah, it still blows my mind that I think FIFA really needs to crack down on that, saying, you know what, all right, fine. Imagine the pressure they say, you cannot be a member of FIFA because you've now excluded women. That's how far I think it should be taken. Sorry, these are countries like Iran that go to World Cup. Sorry, you don't get to go to the World Cup. You get kicked out of FIFA.
Yeah, I mean, the repercussions though.
Yeah,
but the country is like, hey,
you're forcing them to change their beliefs and how they treat women and stuff. And to me, it's FIFA's got to stand up to it.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's
not that easy.
It's not that easy, but this is what we know, but by the articles that we read. But I mean, stuff like this in the world still goes on, and it's a shame.
It's sad. I mean,
God bless America.
Yeah, I mean, you look at situations out of Afghanistan. I was talking to some of the Afghanistan women's coaches today on email. We were texting and emailing about we're going to get some of the Afghan women's national team coaches on the show, and just conversation with them about having these camps. They can't even have camps in their own country because it's too dangerous, because I emailed Kelly Lindsay, the head coach of the Afghan women's team, and I spoke to Haley Carter, the goalkeeper coach from Afghanistan, who used to be with the Houston Dash, and just the conversations of not being able to have a camp to prepare for a major tournament in their own country.
Interesting.
And it just because your own country, some people support you, but some people, they want these women dead, or they don't want any type of women having any type of empowerment or stuff like that. And it really puts things into perspective that our country is very fortunate to be one of the first countries to allow women to go do these things, and we're still fighting with the equality of making women get the basic same rights as men. But some of those countries, the women don't even have any rights whatsoever. And I mean, there are countries in the Middle East that are starting to slowly adapt to the rest of the world and do the right thing. I'm coming out of Saudi Arabia today. I read over one of the press releases that Saudi Arabia next year will allow women into their sporting events, and they're going to set up a special so-called family section, a separate area, separate the male crowd, but have a family area where women and children can come in for Saudi Arabia for games, because let's look at it, it's half the population, and it was a very male-dominated sport to start with, soccer and just sports in general, but that's the one thing I love about America. You can take the family to a game, and it's not even an issue.
I mean, even domestically here in the state of Pennsylvania, where there's still laws on the book where kids have to actually apply to the state high school federation to wear headwear.
Yeah. I heard about that I think it was basketball here in the other day. And that part, the fact that they actually have to go through jumpsuits and hoops, can't they just show up and play? Because I've coached here in Philadelphia for 16 years, and I'm not doing as much club coaching now, but I did do a lot of club coaching, over the time, and almost every time I'd go to a game, there'd be a coach that come up and say, hey, one of my players is Muslim. Is it okay if she's wearing this? I'm like, why would it not be okay? That's my question. Like, there's actually coaches and referees that have a problem with it.
Yeah.
It's just
the interesting thing with actually having to apply is there's a chance that it could be rejected.
Yeah. Why should I have to apply? It's not suddenly an advantage. It's not a distraction. That was another thing, is how they designed the jerseys for the Afghan women's national team, to design special, jerseys for them and make sure their legs were covered. To me, it's like, why is it even an application? If I'm cold, I can wear, different type of headgear to keep myself warm. Never once, I want to wear a long sleeve shirt underneath my jersey. That's not a problem. Right. Well, why is it suddenly, why are we creating applications when there's not a problem? That part just blows my mind. But, we're still in this day and age where there's a lot of people that don't exactly think and feel the same way we do. And I think that's the great part of being here, like you said, in Kevin, in America, that that
we embrace diversity, which is, I mean,
we're
not there yet, and it's not perfect, but I think sports is the one good thing where you really don't see, you got your teammate, it's not black, white, Christian, Muslim. It's nothing. It's
a brother and a sister,
right? You're going to battle with them on the field, like, you know, all that stuff get pushed to the side. And I think that's the beauty of sports, and it's unfortunate really to hear these kinds of stories, like, you know.
Well, you played in a foreign country when you played pro football, and you being the new guy on the block, nobody's going to shun you. At the end of the day, I mean, there are some leagues that you know, are more competitive, or the exception, but in general, at the end of the day, if you can play, that's all anybody cares about.
Yeah.
I don't care what country you've come from, what you look like, what religion is. As a college coach, can you play?
Right. I mean, that was it too. I mean, the funny thing is, the last time I played football was here in Philadelphia, in North Philadelphia. I was the only white guy on the team, and they had their, you know, preconceived, you know, notions of me, but I showed up to every practice. I was there. First game, they said, man, white kid can play.
Exactly.
And they took me in, and it was like, you know, they're like, this guy can play. And they saw that I was defending people. Someone got a cheap shot, and I stood right up, got in the middle of it all, and, you know, making sure that I got my teammates back. And, you know, I think that's what you have. That's what you do. Like,
yeah, and that's the big thing in all this, you know, it just comes down to education, that a lot of people and educating a lot of the masses that have certain religious and cultural beliefs that women hold a certain place in society. But then, you know, if you really take them, you know, you can really probably change someone's point of view. If I have a daughter and their daughter's able to perform some amazing athletic ability, why are we not celebrating this? Why are we having to hide these young ladies and have them practice in other countries, go to other places, or have armed guards protecting them because somebody doesn't want them to play? It's that empowerment thing, and I think it's amazing. Like, we talk about Naughty Nadim's story, like fleeing Afghanistan and going and playing for Denmark, and even overcoming a lot of those hurdles in European countries that, you know, might not have embraced somebody outside, you know, the Caucasian race, you know, and it's if somebody can ball, they can ball, you know, and at the end of the day, that's all that really should matter.
That's what they're there for.
Exactly, you know, it's like, you can put the ball in the back of the net or keep the ball from going in the back of the net, dude, you can be on my team.
And even so, these people were just trying to watch the game.
Yeah,
like,
that's the crazy part. They're trying to go and sit in the stands.
They're trying to enjoy it as a sport, as a spectator.
Yeah.
Like, and they're getting arrested for it.
Yeah.
That's just crazy to me.
Yeah, exactly. And the same thing is, like, the FIFA president's there, and it's a fine line, like John said, that you have to be careful what you say and what you do, like, you know, as a big organization. I
guess for me, since I don't get it. That's not my religion, not how I was raised, but as a person, like, why deny someone simple rights to watch a sport?
Yeah, that's crazy, just to watch a sporting
but
event.
I don't know if we have any listeners out there that can maybe enlighten us in the mailbag, maybe say, hey, this is why we do it. But
yeah,
I'm curious.
Yeah, you got any thoughts to add to that, John?
Mailbag at worldsportshow.com. Hit us up at World Sports Show, Twitter, Facebook, everything. World Sports Show, one word. And, yeah, interesting, you know, good topics tonight.
Yeah, a lot of good stuff in the mailbag that we've, you know, looked over and read over and hope we're addressing for you fans out there.
It's good. Major League Soccer. We talk Philadelphia Union. We talk She Believes. And we talk some women's soccer.
Yeah, C.J. Sapong, Derrick Jones interviews.
Very good. You know, we could go 2 more hours on this, no doubt.
Yeah, big thanks to our fans, Brittany, Emily, and Anthony. Those are the fans we ran into in the parking lot. I want to thank you guys for taking a few minutes out of your time and your festive tailgate and just talking to us about the season. We'll be coming around throughout the season, find you guys, whether it's me, Charlie Flowe, John DiCriscio, or Kevin. We'll be finding you guys, you know, so let us know where you are. We'll interview you and hopefully have some more big names for the Union, some big names from U.S. Soccer, NWSL. You just keep sending us the emails, who you want to be on the show, because at the end of the day, we do the show for the fans. And you email us and let us know who you want on the show, and we will get him or her on the show.
We'll try.
I'll get him.
We'll do the best.
We'll do our best.
We'll do our best.
So I'm Charlie Flowe. He's John DiCriscio. He's Kevin Hines. We had a awesome show. We'll be back next week. See you guys.
Thank you for watching a World Sports Show production. For more info, go to worldsportsshow.com.